This is the effect
No,
of,
I didn't think so.
prosperity gospel.
Tell me what
Prosperity gospel convinced Mark that he can do the same things as Elon Musk, and that Mark with his cheap car
the problem, Jim, is that there's
the same guy.
The problem, Jim,
Mark.
there's 80 million people just like him who believe the same shit. And that's the problem with America right now. We are so misinformed.
Reach to even do itemized deductions. There's a point you have to reach. Each point in the income bracket has different rules. Mark, you're not the same. The way I do my taxes is not the same as somebody who makes $20,000 a year. They can't even itemize their taxes, Mark. All those the appreciation, all that, nothing. Nothing. Because they don't even make the threshold. We're different, Mark. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's different bracket. You and Elon are not the same, bro. Stop thinking that. You sound crazy.
What
the way you file your taxes and the way he files his taxes is totally different no matter what you've told yourself. No matter what. That's why it's about 100 people that does his taxes because it's that much. There's probably 100 people in a room doing his taxes. Dude, it's you and the HR block guy. Come on, man.
Oh, hell no.
Come on.
I ain't hiring an HR block.
Come on,
I have an accountant because my taxes are about 150 pages.
Oh, bullshit. I own a business and my taxes are about
Me
10
too,
pages.
and I ain't never, man, come on, dude. Stop it. You are in outer space, bro. I wish you would come on back down to earth so we could have a podcast.
He paid these taxes. The government didn't pay him. He paid $11 billion in 2021. Over $11 billion. Because he cashed in stock options.
2015, he actually got paid back negative 29%. The effective tax rate was negative 29%. 2016, 0. 2017, negative 30%. 2018, 0%. 2019, the only year he actually paid billions of dollars that year in 2019. In 2020, we still don't have all the data. There is some dispute with the IRS. In 2021, he was effective tax rate was negative 47%. 2022, 0%. 2023, still unconfirmed, still looking at data. There's some issue with the IRS. So that's all the data that we have from Musk. And with the data we have, only 2019 did he actually... Mark, I already said this. It's not hard. Pick up a computer, type in the words, and look at it.
And she Googles and you get totally different data. How is that possible?
Because I just explained... Use your ears, Mark. I just explained it. Use your ears. I just explained it. She is not looking at the money that the federal government has refunded Elon Musk.
You are quoting a source. Tell us what the source is.
His federal income tax rate for 2023 was $48 million. 2023, and you just said there's no data for 2023.
No, 2023 means they're pending IRS data, meaning there's still a dispute between Elon Musk and the IRS on the finalization of those taxes.
Again, we're finding different information. So
you said Google. Tell us what.
Here,
Google
I will give you. I will. Do you want me to put? Do you want to put this on the screen here? Hold on. You can put that on the screen, and then you can look at the, I don't know if you can read all this data, but that's part of it.
You know what the thing I can't ever wrap my brain around is, Mark, you are sitting here saying that you drive a cheap car because that's what you can afford and you got a budget for groceries, and you are slandering like the least fortunate people as welfare cheats vigorously defending the guy that had enough stock to buy Twitter. I don't get it. I don't understand.
What I'm saying.
Help me understand. Just help me understand.
I'm trying to help you understand. Okay, Jim? Look, I drive the car I drive because
I'm not criticizing you for that.
No, listen. Two people making $100,000 a year, right? One has a $20,000 a month car payment. One has a $10,000 a month car payment. who's going to be better off financially?
It depends on what
Right.
each one is making, Mark. That's irrelevant.
No.
Hey man, here we go.
No.
The Observer right here. The Observer right here. This is where he got it from. Right here. This is the article. You see it?
There is no bigger advocate for billionaires than white men that make $40,000 a year. Don't ask me why, but it's just the truth. They love simping
Well,
for
if I only made
billionaires.
$40,000 a year, I'd barely be able to survive.
So you should be advocating to make even more, Mark. That's the point. Instead of advocating for billionaires that are robbing you blind.
I do make way better than that.
Good. Now
you don't understand, V. If you'd watched, now I'm going to use one of your lines. If you'd have watched one of my podcasts earlier, way early in the beginning, Rashawn will tell you, I told you that's how the world goes around. They use people like Mark because there's more Mark than anybody else.
I mean, I agree with you there. Chalo, I agree with you there.
I have to have control of Mark if I'm going to have control of anything. I have to
100% true.
100% true. Mark through the mindset that he's straight all the time. You see how you see what I'm saying? Like how he feels like it's just he has a couple more dollars than me, but we're the same. You see what I mean?
Exactly.
That's a brainwash mentality. You see what
that's
I'm saying?
Exactly right. And here's the problem is that people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk have done a great job of communicating and saying, I'm a billionaire, but I'm just like you. I may fly on private jets. I may have sex with porn stars, but I'm just like you because I say the word asshole and fuck and shit like this. And that makes me a regular American Joe. And it fools people like Mark. And you're right. There's a lot of Marks in the United States. And that's why Trump got elected. Because we have a lot of fools in America.
Like I listen to people, listen to a guy who has never been grocery shopping, tell them about groceries are cheap and they're affordable, and he's never been grocery shopping. He's never put gas in a car, ever. And he's telling you how cheap it is. And I'm like, why would people believe that? Like, why would you even fall for that bamboozle? You know this dude ain't never even touched the grocery cart.
Which one of you guys don't have a budget? Which one of you guys don't have to live on a budget?
What do you mean?
I don't.
You have a budget. You have income, and you can't spend more than that. Otherwise, you're deficit spending.
So then why do you approve of Elon Musk continually taking loans?
Wait.
Well,
he has a budget, but he keeps taking loans out, and you approve of that.
So do you have a budget?
No. You asked a question.
You have a budget.
But Elon Musk doesn't need a budget. Why does Elon Musk does not need a budget? Why do you think he does not deserve to have a budget?
Why do you think he has
why do only us, the peons of the world, deserve to have a budget?
Why does he have to take a loan?
I'm asking you. Answer that question. No. Come on, Mark. You're defending him. Tell me.
If you spend more than you make, you have to borrow money.
So then why are you okay with him borrowing money?
Stop. If you make $20,000 a year and you spend more than you make, you have to take a loan. If you make $100,000 a year and you spend more than you make, you have to take a loan. If you make $1 trillion a month and you spend more than you make, you have to take a loan.
Mark, but you live in the real world, buddy? Because that's not how it works. But everybody lives. No, I don't need you to explain what he's saying, Mark.
I'm not.
Everybody lives on debt. Everybody lives on debt. If you make 100,000, you can live way beyond your means, and most people do, Mark.
I have zero
just because that's you, Mark. That's you. Listen to the general population lives way above their means.
But you argue. Okay,
if you let me finish talking. Most of the population lives way above their means. Just because you follow a strict budget or whatever, that's you. The majority are not you. They live way above their means. If they're making, $3,000 a month, they shouldn't be living in no $2,000 a month house, but they do. That's just how it is.
That's because all the houses are
Or
2,000.
owning
That's
a $1,000 a
reality.
month car.
It's called reality.
But let me ask you real quick. So in your line of thinking, right? The way you think, Mark, then. So Elon Musk should have took out a loan. He should have just sold off some of his stocks and just bought the company outright, correct? But he took out a loan instead. So he's wrong.
Exactly.
You agree with that?
No, he's not wrong. No,
but that's
he's
what your
not
line
wrong for doing it because he has assets that
But
he
Mark-
can borrow against.
Right.
So when
but you
I
just
own
said-
a house, when I own a house, right, I can take out a home equity loan and there's no tax on it. Correct?
I don't know.
There's no tax on a home equity loan. And what I'm saying is
No, I believe that's wrong, bro. You pay tax on any
there is no
money they
tax
give
on a
you.
home equity loan. In fact, there's tax breaks for taking out a home equity loan. Just saying. I made more money losing money on income property than I make as a salary. By
You made more
losing
money
on-
losing money? That doesn't make
Yes.
sense, bro. You made money losing money.
Yes,
That doesn't
So-
make sense, bro.
Tax write-offs.
exactly.
I guess
Just like
It
just
doesn't matter,
like
Jen.
Elon- Okay, so I have $10,000 a month in income from rental property, but on paper, because of tax deductions, I lose $300 a month. It's paper money. It's not real, but on paper. So when I get my tax refund in April, May, June, whenever it ends up coming in, I get $23,000 coming back because of tax loopholes. The law, the same laws that Elon Musk and Trump and everybody else has the ability to use. It's not special.
Okay, but when
Everybody-
We've
when-
gotten way off the rails. This isn't about Venezuela at all anymore.
I'm about to bring it. I'll bring it back. I promise.
We got to, because
But-
this is just gone.
it's my fault for just talking about the
understand that
robber barons that
you-
did all.
We're on the moon now.
You can't blame people taking advantage of tax breaks. Everybody's like, well, the rich they get way more than I do.
Who writes
But
the who writes the
But
tax
I
code?
get to take advantage of the same rules that Elon Musk does.
But you
Not
don't
the
have-
same rules.
there's
You
no-
take advantage of other rules, but not the same rules that he does. Let's make that
Why-
clear.
why would you
Same
think
exact
that?
rules.
The whole tax code is different. You guys are in. I mean, the tax bracket you guys are in is like
It makes no sense.
from here
Like,
to the moon. Like
there
from here
are
to the
rules
moon,
that you
that's
have
how
to
far
have.
apart you are. And yeah, each tax bracket has different rules, Mark. You guys are not the same. No matter what you've been brainwashed to
do
think.
you understand
don't-
what
You
depreciated
don't have
value is?
You don't
Do
have
you
the
understand
same
what
rights that Elon
depreciated
Musk.
value is? Do you
This
understand
is-
what depreciated value is?
Yes.
Yes,
This is
Mark.
what V is
God
talking
damn,
about.
You and
Every-
these
Where
questions, bro. Like you like a
single-
school teacher or something. Every point you want to make, just state the fact, bro. Don't ask a question. State your
It's
fact, bro. So we can get
Depreciated
along. We can
value
go
is
on.
the same application for me and Elon Musk and every single 360 million people in the country. Can take the same.
All right, so you have this.
Is
So your argument is you can do the same thing that Elon Musk does. So do you have $250,000 to pay for a tax shelter to be opened in, let's say, the Cayman Islands? Do you have that money so you can park your money in the Cayman Islands? Because it costs $250,000 to open up a legal firm over there, to hire a CEO, to pay them a salary. Do you have that money? Because you obviously are equivalent to Elon Musk, who has that money to open those tax shelters. Are you able to do that, Mark?
this is the effect.
No,
of,
I didn't think so.
prosperity gospel.
Tell me what.
Prosperity
Tax-
gospel convinced Mark that he can do the same things as Elon Musk, and that
Tell me
Mark
what
with
he can
his
do that I
Mark
can't.
mean,
with his cheap
the
car
problem,
and Trump
Jim,
with his
is that
gold toilet are
there's
the same guy.
the problem, Jim.
Mark.
There's 80 million people just like him who believe the same shit, and that's the problem with America right now. We are so
point you have to
misinformed.
reach to even do itemized deductions. There's a point you have to reach. Each point in the income bracket has different rules. Mark, you're not the same. The way I do my taxes is not the same as somebody who makes $20,000 a year. They can't even itemize their taxes, Mark. All of the appreciation, all that, nothing. Nothing. Because they don't even make the threshold. We're different, Mark. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's different bracket. You and Elon are not the same, bro. Stop thinking that. You sound crazy.
What
The way you
role that
file your taxes and the way he files his taxes is totally different no matter what you've told yourself. No matter what. That's
my
why
taxes are about
it's
150
about
pages.
100 people that does his taxes because it's that much. There's probably 100 people in a room doing his taxes. Dude, it's you and the HR block guy. Come on, man.
Oh, hell no.
Come on.
I ain't hiring H&R Block.
Come on,
I have an
bro.
accountant. I have an accountant because my taxes are about 150 pages.
Oh, bullshit. I own a business and my taxes are about
Me
10
too,
pages.
and I ain't never, man, come on, dude. Stop it. You are in outer space, bro. I wish you would come on back down to earth so we could have a podcast.
I mean, Chalo, the problem is there's so many people like him. How do you talk to people that are so out of their mind? It's impossible.
I'm just watching a man tell me he make as much money as a dude who has more money than everybody on earth damn near combined.
Mark and Elon Musk are like peas and carrots.
Yes, it is. You keep asking me what's the difference between you and Elon Musk, and I can tell you a million of them, but you keep thinking you guys are the same. He files appreciation and you do too. Okay. Okay.
What tax break?
Oh my God.
Bro, when you get sober, you watch this and you watch the stuff that you're saying.
I don't think he ever gets sober, bro.
What tax break does he qualify for that you can't?
A
lot
billionaire one that they don't tell us about.
Writing off a
that's
jet.
what I'm trying to see. I don't know half.
I don't
the stuff that
qualify
he
to
gets
write off a
file
jet.
away. None of that
But-
stuff. That's what I'm trying to
yes,
say, Jim. When
you
you're
do.
each tax
Because
I don't own a
it's
jet,
you
so no, I
depreciation.
don't.
there's different
It's
rules. There's
depreciation.
different rules.
You own a business, right? Your
Yep.
depreciation on a business is exactly the same as his depreciation on a business.
Depreciation's a bitch to freaking itemize. Let me tell you what. But let's get back to Venezuela.
We left Venezuela a long time ago.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I think it all.
I think we're in China now.
I think it kind of all ties
We're in the
in,
Cayman
though,
Islands.
We dug that hole so deep we hit China.
No, man. Look, I think it all kind of ties in, right? Because this all started with capitalism. Then we got onto the billionaires and millionaires, and we got on to Elon Musk, right? But I believe that everything that's going on with Venezuela is part of the capitalist agenda to put a stranglehold on the world. And when I was talking to you earlier, hold on. When I was talking, let me ask the capitalists in the room, right? Do you agree that we live on a finite planet?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you believe that you can have endless growth on a finite planet?
No, not endless, but I think there's a change. I think things change.
Okay, no, that's
over
cool.
Time. Like
So,
AI is relatively new.
Right.
Just like when you go back to the Industrial Revolution, we've seen more change in the last century than we did in the history of the world.
No, absolutely. But do you agree? Would you agree that capitalism depends on continuous expansion or rising production and rising consumption?
Somewhat.
Huh?
Somewhat. Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhat. I don't think it relies on it 100%. No.
But you do agree that our planet has limited resources, limited capacity, limited ability to absorb pollution, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess my point is that, let's say we were all on a spaceship, right? and you have a fixed amount of oxygen, a fixed amount of water, a fixed amount of food, a fixed amount of space. And like the captain comes over the loudspeaker saying, "Hey, we're going to grow our population and resource use forever." In the beginning, it's like, okay, everything's cool because people on board,
it's fun. There's new people,
right?
Yeah.
But you can't. But we all live on this one planet. You can't create more space. You can't magically produce more infinite oxygen. You can't expand the ship's walls. And no matter how clever you are, the ship, our planet, is still finite. And so my whole point is that, like, hey, the whole Venezuela, Greenland, and the fact that we're fighting China and Russia, and it's because we want to put a chokehold, right? So, like, yes, the dollar is there, but really it's oil resources and everything like that are the true key there. But because we're in a capitalist society, and because capitalism is endless growth and everything like that, its biggest enemy is socialism and communism. And so the war that we're really fighting with Venezuela is due to the fact that we don't want socialism and communism to grow, because that is the direct enemy of capitalism. Capitalism is not like I said before. Capitalism is not sustainable. You can't sustain the earth or anything using the capitalist
and again the same
architecture.
The same can be said for the other governmental structures.
But I'm more along the line of doing things like the Nordic countries or like China or anything like that, and having a hybrid. And I think that that's what we're fighting here in America. We're fighting that hybrid because the richest 1%, the Elon Musk, the Trumps, all his billionaire friends and stuff like that, don't want to let off that dollar that they got in their pocket, because that would mean that they wouldn't have as much. So, Mark, when you're sitting here and you're defending Elon Musk, you know what I mean? It just drives me nuts, because I do love you, man, but it drives me nuts because you're defending a man that could potentially feed the world, but he's not. You know what I mean? He's actively fighting.
I would argue that.
His money.
I would argue
that. His money. Right.
I think Mark
he has like $1 trillion.
I think Mark admires Elon Musk, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. I think he looks at.
He has $1 trillion, right?
I mean,
he has $1 trillion, right?
Yeah.
It's $500 billion.
Musk has $1 trillion. No, he is.
But isn't that crazy? Who in the world should have $1 trillion? Like,
who are we to say who can't?
Well,
that's
the population of Earth.
Right, who should?
The reason that's what I'm trying to explain to you. The reason people like how Jen just said, who's to say, is because Jen has a dream of being rich. Everybody has that dream, and that's why they don't look
That's why
down
I own a business and I don't work for somebody else.
You see, that's what Mark sees. Eli, I could be Elon Musk one day, or if I, it's that,
I ain't ever being like him, but
well, I mean, I'm not saying but you think one day you could possibly have some money.
I mean, Chalo, you bring up a good point, right? It's a false American dream. The American dream that we were sold is false. It does not exist, right? The fact is that when people say anybody could be president, no, you can't. Anybody could be a millionaire, no, you can't. I mean, there are people, there are groups of people that will never have that ability. That's reality. That's reality.
It's not really a negativity thing.
For it.
No, Jen, there's plenty of.
You like to live in the clouds, and I like to live in reality.
Hold on.
No, I do. I'm very much a realist.
There's plenty of immigrants that came over here from different countries and started their way in the United States. And there's guys that worked 3 different jobs just to feed their family, and they died poor. And that's not a couple of people. That's a lot of people.
And there are plenty of people American that came over and built a business.
Hold on for a second. Yeah, that's few and far in between, though. It's not
that's the 6%.
If you work hard, if you come over here and you work hard, you will succeed. That's the American dream, and that's not true. That's what I'm saying. Yes, you can come up. You can come over here, come up and be a millionaire. Yes, that is true. But
I'm a second generation American. My grandparents came over from Italy. They were born in Italy, and they died millionaires. My grandfather was a mason, and my grandmother was a stay-at-home mother to 5 children.
Jen, do you honestly think
Yeah,
that's
here's
that
kind of
typical
the
immigrant
here's
story coming from Italy?
here's
See, this is the
here's
thing.
the
This is the
opposite
thing.
one.
When you look at Elon Musk, when you
Well,
look at
everybody
Elon
in
Musk,
Wellesley
right?
that came from Italy made a lot of money.
When you look
Here's
at
something
Elon
we
Musk,
always
right?
go. Let
If
me
I
go,
do
Mark.
what he
Oh, yeah.
does, go ahead, Jim.
Okay, look. Here's where we always end up on a stumbling block with this conversation, because when somebody like Rashawn or V or myself suggests that maybe we shouldn't, but maybe we should do something about the fact that Elon Musk is the richest person in the world and does all the shit he does. People like Mark and Jen here, if you're going to say Elon can only make a certain amount of money, you're going to say that I can only do that. And this is like that
Yeah.
trickle down effect of fucking prosperity gospel, where nobody in their right mind would say that maybe we shouldn't let Elon be a trillionaire, and this is also going to mean that Jen has to sell her business. Not going to work that way, but that is what people hear. That's the alarm bell that goes off.
It
That
is,
when you
because
say
when
that these
people attack
people,
capitalism,
right,
that's what
this
I
is,
hear, and you're
but this
exactly
is
right.
when we're talking about these people at the very top of society pulling all these strings and levers and making all these things happen. We are not referring to you and Mark. I am incredibly disinterested in taxing you more unless you make way more effing money than I think you do. I am interested in people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump having less power.
Correct.
But see,
Correct.
that's
Great
what I'm
point.
saying. When you put a cap on Elon Musk money, that's what I'm saying. They feel like you're putting a cap on their money, which is kind of, in a sense, it's kind of that's right.
I mean, it's a slippery slope argument, and I get that, but I think a lot of people don't understand the difference also between, and I know, Rashad, I know you want to go, but let me just get this quick in here. A lot of people think that, oh my God, if we get rid of capitalism, that means I have to get rid of my business. I can't own my house. I can't own my car. Everyone owns my house. What is this nonsense? And that's the compromise of democratic socialism. That is what the Nordic countries do. That's what 50 countries in the world, that's what most of Europe. It's the hybrid between capitalism and socialism. And what does that mean? That means that, Jen, you still are able to run your business. But the difference is that there are going to be certain businesses like electrical companies, the internet company, those are run by the government, and those are run as a non-profit because they don't need to make money. Healthcare is not a profit. You don't go to a doctor and the doctor isn't looking to make a profit off of the surgery. He is looking to conduct that surgery to save your life. The hospital that you go to is paid by the government, and therefore you, without getting paid for, through Aetna or something, and they just take care of you. Instead of saying, what is your health insurance? How much is your copay? Let's talk about this, girl, because we got 20 minutes before you got to have surgery. No, you just go and you get your surgery done. You get healthy. Your kids are healthy. The whole point of democratic socialism is to take, hold on. The whole thing about democratic socialism is that you take the most important parts, the biggest things you need to survive: food, shelter, health, and you make this available to everyone. Everyone has shelter. They don't have to be homeless. Everyone has food. They don't have to starve. And then on top of that, you go work your ass off and get rich as much as you want. But everyone
And
must
get taxed
have a
50%
standard.
on it.
Not you, Jen. You get taxed even lower than you are now. You know why? Because the richest people, like Elon Musk, get charged 90% tax rate. We have a wealth tax. We actually will tax their assets, the assets like real estate that they don't tax now, or their stock holdings. Instead of taxing you, Jen, which I know you think, oh, they're going to tax me. No, you actually would pay less taxes. In reality, the richest people pay 80 to 90% taxes, and the rest of us actually pay little or no taxes, because at the end of the day, all of this stuff is getting paid for by the richest people. Right now, what's happening is that the richest people pay an average of what was the exact number? It was, I think it was less than 23%. But the average person, like a teacher, construction worker, their effective tax rate is higher. So we have all of the billionaires and millionaires paying a less effective tax rate.
Tax rate is 18%.
Great. I'm glad for you, but I'm talking about stats. Do you understand how statistics work, Mark? That means we're talking about 340 million people, not just Mark.
Average
So,
American is 18%.
so when we're
The
talking about
average
statistics,
American
it does
is
not
18%.
include you, Mark. It does not include you, right? You're one small piece of that. And again, the point of
average
democratic
American is
socialism
18%.
is that we care for all people
So
and
where
that
is
everyone that
socialism
has their
more than
businesses
18%?
can survive. That is the entire point. You don't have to say that you have to have either capitalism or communism where no one owns everything. There's a hybrid. That's how 50 countries in this world survive and are succeeding. Why do you think Denmark is one of the happiest places, and Finland are two of the happiest places on earth by all polls going back 20, 30 years? It's not the United States. We're number 24. We hate ourselves here. Why do you think Denmark and Finland are number 1 and 2?
No, you hate us.
Well, no,
You hate
real
us.
quick, Jen and Mark. When I attack capitalism, it's not. I'm not trying to suggest that you're not able to own a business or you're not going to be successful or anything like that. I'm more in the case attacking the ultra rich, and like V was talking about. You know what I mean? Let's just say Elon Musk is worth $600 billion, right? You tax him at 90%. He's still got $60 billion. His life isn't going to change. He's going to be straight. Hold, wait. Let me finish. But let me finish though, brother. His life is not going to change. He's going to be okay. But you know whose lives are going to change? All of us, all the people out here, the people that are struggling, the people that need help. You know what I mean? Because why should he be able to eat, but not the poorest of the poor be able to eat? Why should he have a house over his head, but not the poorest of the poor?
What are you taxing? What are you taxing him on?
I was just using it as an example, brother. I was just using it as an example. If we were to tax,
what I'm trying to find out is, are you taxing him on his income or his potential income?
I was just it was just an example, Mark. I wasn't being like, hey,
Yeah,
look.
I know, but what I'm saying is B says wealth tax, which is potential income.
No, you call it potential income. Real people don't. Just right-wingers do. What it is assets. We're taxing their assets. Now, I understand the right wants to call it potential income because they want to scare, oh my God, they're going to tax things you don't even make money on. No, the reality is these are assets. He borrows against these assets, so why can't we tax against these assets? That's just facts. Those are facts. We don't need right-wing propaganda to actually
your car loan
talk
and
to
your
us.
home loan. So we're going to tax you on your
Mark,
car loan and your home.
Again, there's a difference between us being able to borrow on our, let's say, $210,000 house and Elon Musk being able to borrow tax-free on $50 billion worth of assets that he doesn't.
Equal.
No, we're not.
No, we're not, Mark. We are not equal. Stop thinking that. Fucking Christ.
Let me say this. Now, you brought up Norway and Denmark. Both of them have almost a 50% tax rate. Denmark
You
is
and Oprah play the same, Jen.
37 to 50% tax bracket on income.
All income.
If you take 50% of my income, fuck you. I'm going on social services. I'm not working.
You also have to remember, wait, Jen, you also have to remember.
Let me make my point.
Okay.
What's the difference between a 5% tax on 100,000 a year and a 5% tax on $100 billion?
Oh, shit ton of
How
money.
much exactly?
No.
So does it matter if we have
It does matter.
equal? No, it doesn't, because they're paying a shit ton of money.
And they need to pay a shit ton more.
But you got to think scale,
no,
right?
They don't.
You got to think scale though. 5% is a bigger hit on the person.
I was just giving a number, throwing a
I got
number
you.
out there.
One thing to remember, Jen, about
my
the
point is why should they have a massive tax on their income because they make more money? I'm not defending anybody. I'm just saying I don't have a problem with it if I'm paying X amount, whatever the rate is. Just say 5. It's 7% in Virginia, so 7%. So say I'm paying 7%. Well, Elon Musk is going to pay a hell of a lot more because he makes a hell of a lot more money. And the assets are already being taxed. You buy something, you pay sales tax, you pay personal property tax, you pay real estate tax. Those taxes are already being paid. And what do you think a real estate tax on a $2 million mansion is compared to a $150,000 house?
Let me answer. Let me answer. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question though, Jen. So
Sure.
let's say, do you think 10%? If you're making let's say you're making, I don't know, $100,000 a year, and then you got somebody making $100 million a year, right?
Yeah.
Who's the 10% that you're taxing them going to affect more?
I mean, if you have a reasonable tax rate, it's not going to affect really anybody.
So let's say
If it's reasonable,
so you want a flat tax, right? So like you want a flat tax, right? So like
yes.
So it's the same thing. Like if I get it, let's say somebody that's making, well, that must be horrible. Let's say if somebody, it's the same as let's say if somebody that's like, I don't know, 17 years old flipping burgers gets a speeding ticket, or $1 million guy gets a speeding ticket. Who's it going to affect more? It's going to affect the guy that's not making that much more. That's because you keep saying you keep putting it in you keep framing it like, hey, they're spending 10%, but they make so much more.
Why is equality wrong?
It's not.
Why is equality wrong?
It's not about equality.
But that's what they do in Denmark and Norway, and you're saying how everybody loves it there so much better than the United States.
Well, they get more return on their more return on their investment there. That's the big thing. You know, they got free education, they got housing, they got free healthcare.
Quality
you know what I mean?
doesn't matter.
What?
Quality doesn't matter.
I'm not saying that.
So you're saying equality doesn't matter.
I'm saying we're not equal now,
right?
Mark.
So if everybody gets taxed the same, it's equal, correct?
No.
You're saying my $50 speeding ticket. You're saying my $50 speeding ticket counts more than Elon Musk.
I'm saying $50.
It does. Yes, it does.
I'm saying $50 to you.
No, it doesn't.
No, wait, hold on. I'm saying that $50 to you means more to you than $50 means to Elon Musk. $50 ain't shit to him. But to you, $50 is more. To me, $50 is more. $50 means more to me than Elon
According
Musk.
to you, Mark, that's 2 days worth of eating for you. Damn near 3 days.
You see what I'm saying? You guys got it
your
backwards.
budget.
Maybe a day and a half. Maybe a day and a half.
But I'm just saying it's backwards. It's like you guys got it flipped. You know what I mean?
What they're trying to get you it's not an equivalent. You can't tax at a flat rate. You have to tax like if you're going to tax me 10% of my income, you can't tax him 10% of his income because it's not the same equivalency. Do you understand that?
He's paying a shit
It's just like money. It's just like you were talking about. No, listen, Mark. It's just like you were talking about budgets in the beginning of the podcast. You can only you're supposed to set up a budget according to your income. If your income is X, you're only supposed to spend a certain amount for your housing, a certain amount for your food, a certain amount of that, whatever. And everybody's amount per month that they make is different. You see what I'm saying? So if you have the flat same,
so why is equality wrong?
Let me finish, Mark. So if you have that same tax, it affects everybody differently. It's not equal. It's not equal. You see what I'm saying? I don't have your $20 a day budget. So it's going to affect, if we get taxed the same, it's going to affect you more than it's going to affect me because I don't have that budget. Do you understand that? It's not the same equivalent. I understand what you're saying. 10% is 10. But it's not the same equivalency when you're talking about different income brackets. That's why they don't do that. That's why they don't just, it's not just a straight 10% across the board. You know, the federal income tax is not just a straight 33%. You know, some people make $10,000 a year. You can't take 3,000 of it or 4,000 of it. You can't.
Well, that's why we have a minimum amount before they pay tax.
I think
It's
there's only
different
like
brackets.
2 or 3 countries in the world that have a flat tax. So
You could. I mean, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense.
And there is no free housing.
And I understand
in Denmark,
what you're
by the way.
saying, Mark. but
It's
just
heavily
It's
subsidized.
subsidized.
Yep.
It's subsidized for certain people.
Let
It's
me
not
talk
for
about that. In
everybody in the
fact,
population.
let me talk about that.
And I'm a capitalist, but I'm just trying to tell you that the flat tax wouldn't work. You have to tax at different rates, and I don't disagree with taxing higher rates for higher income.
Regarding Denmark and Finland, the things that Jen brought up, the fact that taxes are high there, but it's high on people that are making over 400 and whatever some odd thousand. So if you're making $50,000, you're not paying 50%, 60% tax. You're paying more like 12 to 13% tax. Secondly,
no, it's not. It's stacked. I just looked at the whole tax model.
The minimum is 8%, and yes, you get other taxes on top of that. But
yeah,
you don't.
You have locality taxes,
and as I said,
taxes. That adds up to 37% of your income.
We were talking about 50%. That's the number that I was talking about.
It goes 37 to 50%.
Correct, and I'm talking about that 50%. That the highest tax bracket you're talking about is around $400,000. But what do they get?
$400,000 a year, 37% tax is fair.
And I'll tell you why. Because one of the things that the reason why that tax is fair is because healthcare. One of the biggest problems that we have in this country is healthcare, right? Okay. And so most families spend $10,000, $20,000, sometimes upwards of $30,000 between co-pays, prescriptions, and stuff. So
we get significantly less for more for health
when it comes to healthcare. Correct.
Our healthcare system sucks. There's no doubt about
Americans
that.
on average,
and it
us
needs
as
to
a
change.
country in terms of healthcare, we spend way more than everyone else.
Yeah, because we're the fattest, most gluttonous nation in the world and have the worst food.
Else. It's not even a matter. It's not even a matter of body mass. It's just that Americans,
the FDA,
spend more to get way
lobbying. Yeah.
It's the billionaires, Jen. It's the billionaires that are lobbying them to say, "Hey, let me put this crap in the food." But again, it's healthcare, so they cover healthcare. Let me going back to my point because I know we're going to wrap this up soon.
So real quick, Jen,
it's cheaper right now.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper to make the crap that we're eating right now. You know
I
what I mean?
know. I know.
And because, like I said earlier, capitalism, there's no reason for them to do anything and give us healthy food because it's more expensive. Why would they? It costs more.
Right. Well, it just drives the cost up of everything.
Don't you spend more on food?
We're sickly.
Well, yeah, but the healthcare industry doesn't care because it's running off capitalism too and wants to make money.
Well, yeah.
It's cool with it. Yeah. It's cool with us getting sick.
That and President Quarter Pounder would crash out if you took that away.
But again, those taxes that Jen was speaking of, you get healthcare. That's the first thing. Then you get college education. So a lot of families, a lot of people are in debt, $30,000 or sometimes $200,000 in debt for college. That is given. Childcare is heavily subsidized. Housing is heavily subsidized. You get elder care. Right now people have to. If you're poor, you don't actually have anyone to help you with your mom or your dad. You hope the worst. The best case in many cases is that they have some sort of pension or social security. You put them in a nursing home. But if you don't have that, they're just living broke. And so they have elder care. So
on those items,
what?
Where do they rank worldwide on those items?
Higher than the United States. I don't have the exact here. The United States actually ranks one of the worst in elder care.
Their goods and services and their cars are way more expensive. Their cars are heavily taxed over there.
Okay.
The subsidies.
I mean, I'd rather get healthcare than afford a nice SUV.
But that's for the poor. Those
no.
The
healthcare is for everyone.
I'm talking about the housing subsidies or for the poor.
Okay. So, like I said, I talked about everything, not just one item. Healthcare, college, childcare, and yes, stuff for the poor. But when it comes to all the things that you get, you have to understand that they get so much stuff for their taxes. We don't get a lot of shit for our taxes. We get security. I mean, the American military, we get security. But we don't actually get anything for our taxes.
Here and not pay the tax like that and have more money.
Jen,
you wouldn't get more money. That's the thing.
But they also get what they pay for.
When I lived
they get
in
what
London
they pay for, long lines and waiting lists.
My costs in London were
higher life expectancy
3 times higher
than
here.
What cost 3 times higher?
Everything costs 3 times higher there.
What's everything? Not healthcare, not childcare,
Yes.
not college.
He's talking about general goods and services.
Who cares? That's my point. The biggest
That's
things.
part of your life.
Those
You
are.
can't go out to eat because you can't afford it.
$7
It's
a
damn
gallon.
expensive.
So
can't
you
buy
would
a
rather say,
car
"Hey,
to
I
drive
can
to
eat a
work.
nice piece of chicken, but I'm gonna die because my heart gave out."
They can go out to eat. They're okay.
Yeah,
I've looked
they
into
are.
this.
Yeah.
They can afford a hamburger too.
I'm sure they can, but you're conflating my point. I mean, you're just
No, I'm not. I'm literally not complaining anything. I'm addressing it specifically. Your point is that taxes were too high and you can't do things like so.
I'm not.
I'm saying I disagree and I'm showing you why.
So that I can pay for everybody else's bullshit.
So you know what's happening, Jen, and I'll stop you here because I know you want to end it, Charles. But what's happening is what people don't understand, and what a lot of people understand is that look at your money as a bucket. All right, whether it's taxes, whether it's paying for healthcare, whether it's paying for college education, look at it like a bucket. Don't look at it as one bucket for taxes, one bucket. Look at it as one bucket. If you have to put less money in that bucket, but you're paying more money in taxes, who cares if you're paying more money in taxes if you're actually spending less money overall in your entire life? When you have to spend less money for the big ticket items like healthcare and housing and college, all the rest of the stuff, even if they add up a little bit more, you end up saving money. That's it. I'm done.
Agree to disagree.
All right, well,
All right,
go ahead, Charlo.
I'm gonna end it with this. This final question for you guys. So, when this last Trump term is over with, considering all this happened, all that's gonna probably happen, will the country be better off or worse when Trump leaves office, and why? We'll let you start, Jen. Tell us about the greatness of Trump.
Oh my God. Of course you are. I think it's going to be better off. I mean, our economy's gotten better already. I think things are going to continue to get better. I think the world's going to get safer regardless. I know you think it's getting scarier, but I think that you're just watching too much liberal media. It likes to scream about everything. There's been a lot of peace treaties that have gone on under him. So I think the world's going to be safer, and I think the economy is going to be better, and I think it's going to continue to grow. That's where I'm at.
All right, V.
I mean, obviously, you know my answer. We will obviously be worse off. We're already worse off now. Another couple of years of this is going to really hurt us even more. Economically speaking, as I said before, on paper, it looks great. GDP is growing. Not as fast as under Biden, but it's still growing. The problem with that is that, like I said before, about 25% to about 1/3 of that growth is completely based on AI. So unless the government is willing to pump billions when this bubble pops, what's going to happen with 1/3 of the GDP growth? I don't know. So that's going to be an issue. Other things is that even though people are saying, oh, the economy is great for the stock market, and, you know, people that 401ks, the thing is that other things are getting more expensive. Your groceries are more expensive. It's more expensive to just live. Healthcare is more expensive. The value of your dollar is less. If you travel spending $1, you will pay more money for things than you would just 2 years ago. So that hurts. Your purchasing power is hurt. The deficit increases because the deficit is continuing to increase. That means we're paying more money of our tax dollars going directly to interest, which means we can't put that towards things like Social Security or Medicare or SNAP. That means we have to borrow to pay for those things, which means interest rates will increase even more. It's cyclical. So the economy is bad. Now, when you talk about global issues, the fact that Trump already invaded Venezuela, and he has said that he wants to invade at one point or another, whether you can say he's joking or not, Canada, Mexico, Colombia, Peru, Cuba, Greenland, and others. I mean, we don't know how much of it is joking and how much is real. His last term, everyone said he was joking when he was talking about Greenland, and now it's a reality. People were saying he was joking about Venezuela, and obviously that became a reality. So we don't know what Trump is going to do. He's also said that he's done such a great job that he said, when you think about it, there shouldn't be an election. So what will we actually have another election? I don't even know. The thing is, you can't take anything he says at face value, because it changes over time. Where will we be in 2029? Good question. I don't even know if that we will actually be in fact, called the United States of America. That's how insane this is. And call me a conspiracy theorist. I've never been like that before in my life. But this is what Trump has done. Because the problem with this country is we're not united. You have literally 76% of the country, that's the only thing I guess we're united about, not liking what ICE is doing, and he's in fact going to send more to invade different cities. We don't have the freedoms that we used to have. We have military troops in our cities.
V, land the plane, man.
I mean, the plane has landed. The plane has landed. We are going to be fucked up. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
have we lost?
that was the longest yes I've ever seen, dude. All right, go ahead, Mark, man.
So just yes, we are going to be far better off. The $7 trillion that's being spent this year on AI isn't just special for AI. It's power infrastructure. It's across the board. So that stuff ain't going away. We're a computerized society. Facebook ain't going away. Snapchat ain't going away. So the billions of dollars being spent on data centers isn't going to go away. It's just being rolled up. We're going to do a lot better. Our national debt is growing at a far slower pace now. I think we're at about
Incorrect.
600 billion. We're at about 600 billion deficit this year, give or take. So it's better than 3.8 trillion. So I think economically we'll do better as a country over the next 4 or 5 years, 6 years.
Okay. All right. Jim?
Worse. We were demonstrably worse off at the end of Trump's first term. I thought he was a destabilizing influence, not just here, but globally in his first term. His second term, his first term was like a country ride compared to this. This is like the cocaine version. He immediately went to work with Doge and absolutely destroyed institutions that it would take years to rebuild. Internationally or globally, he is a very destabilizing influence at the moment, with threatening countries that we have no conflict with, and regime change in other countries, and escalating tensions, and just destroying international norms in a lot of cases. He is empowering two dictators in Bibi and Putin on various levels. Like, he has in the U.S. has always done this with Israel, but he's ramped it up a little, where he's firmly behind those two countries that are also authoritarian and destabilizing. I think he's going to do a lot of damage in the next couple of years, and I'm uninterested in the GDP when we are looking at the erosion of norms, both domestically and globally, and also some of the people that are feeling emboldened and assuming power as a result of some of the things that he's doing. So, worse.
Okay. I'll just be real quick. I think Donald Trump's foreign policy reflects a long American tradition, which is defending a global order that's built on capitalism. I don't think the world will be safer. I feel like we are alienating our friends. I also believe that Brexit is inevitable, and Trump is speeding that up. And ultimately, we look weak as a nation, and the sharks are now circling. They see the cracks in the foundation. So no, I don't think we'll be better off.
Okay,
Chalo.
cool. Yeah, I don't see nothing good like from war, and that's what I see coming up. Like you can't bully people, and when I say people, I mean like we're bullying other countries, and your excuse for being a bully is, well, I don't want Russia to China to do it first. That's not going to work. I just think that we're just going to come a point where the world is going to gang up on us, and we're not going to be able to handle it. And I don't want that to happen. But if you keep just stormtrooping countries, that's what's going to happen. So with that, we're gonna end it. I appreciate you guys coming out. It's always a good conversation. We're gonna peace out.